We're at 1 HP here. Remember, when you use a shield, you still take 1 HP worth of damage. So this is a waste of a shield because it's actually going to knock us out. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP. And if you're a returning subscriber like Anaka Life, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at some battles in the Open Ultra League. This is a team which I've used to a lot of success in previous seasons, and I once again put it to the test, starting at around 2960 elo, but we didn't exactly have the best run, losing about 100 points on the first day of battles. We're going to be taking a look at 10 battles in this video. I believe they are all losses, and I chose to include these battles because I feel they provide the best learning for not only myself, but also for the viewer. What you're going to see in this video is that yes, a lot of these games were hard counter city, some of which there was nothing we could do, but a lot of them also came down to just one or two wrong decisions. And with the level of skill in GBL increasing with each season, it is extremely important to minimize mistakes and learn from them when they do happen. Remember, experience is making mistakes and learning from them so that you can minimize them in the future. It's almost impossible to fully eliminate mistakes from your game. We are human after all, but being able to minimize them definitely will lead to improvement in your game. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like. It really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment below. And without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so before we jump into these battles, you are going to notice that a lot of these teams are triple XL. The main reason is because these Pokemon are banned from the Ultra Premier Classic. Typically, you will see XL Pokemon in the Ultra Premier, but since they're not available this time around for that specific cup, they are going to migrate to the Open Ultra League. So let's jump into this battle right here. First matchup, we got Escavalier into Deoxys. This is a horrible lead to see, of course. It's going to swap out into Giratina here, and we get met by Drapion, which of course the Pokemon you're not often going to see in the Open Ultra League, but it does have a pretty solid matchup here against Giratina altered running Shadow Claws. So we are going to be going for the Dragon Claws right here. You can see they are chunking away, but crunch is going to hurt. This is not a Shadow Drapion, but it still does close to 50%. Now, at this point of the battle, I am going to make a misplay here, and you're going to see it happen very, very soon. And maybe you could guess what it is. We are going to land this Dragon Claw, which is going to get the shield. We survive here. Now, I'm basically going to be adding another Dragon Claw here, and I was thinking, can I get the second shield because we lose CMP? We're at 1 HP here. Remember, when you use a shield, you still take 1 HP worth of damage. So this is a waste of a shield because it's actually going to knock us out because we're at 1 HP. So I don't get the second shield, and even it's not a guarantee we get the second shield there anyways. So having the shield advantage is more important here because both my Pokemon lose to Deoxys anyways. So I think that definitely was a misplay there. And even if I did get the shield, I mean, I guess if I got the shield, it would have worked out a bit better. But if we didn't, because it's not a guarantee they're going to shield anyways, we would have been in a pretty rough spot. So Rock Slide comes through. They are not running Thunderbolt, so it's going to be a little bit worse for us as well. Surf comes through, and I do have a Escavalier for that Walrein in the back, but things are not looking good right here. Rock Slide's going to take us out. Come back in with the Escavalier. I'm going to force the final shield here from the Deoxys with this Acid Spray. And now this is where having that potential second shield still might have ended up working out, because if we could shield one of these Rock Slides, maybe there's a chance that we could farm down here and get to a move against that Walrein in the back. Probably not, but I think the most important thing to take out of this battle is that we played it incorrectly. And even if we are going to lose, you want to make sure you're still making the best decisions, even in a losing effort, because that's going to go a long way towards improving your win rate. Now, another horrible lead right here, Jellicent. You can see a lot of these Pokemon are not things we want to see in the Open Ultra League with this team. So I swap out into Lapras. That's still a very bad matchup, but we do lure out the Scrafty right here. So the team kind of works in an ABB strategy, not exactly, but both Giratina and Lapras are very weak to Scrafty, Obstagoon, so you want to lure that out, have Escavalier on it after. We are going to get to a second Surf here. Opponent unlikely to shield this because it will not KO. So we're going to have to come back in here with the Escavalier. I don't want to shield anything here because of course we have a very poor matchup against the Jellicent. So I swap out to Giratina to get an energy lead because I know I'm going to have to swap out into Giratina at some points anyways against that Jellicent. May as well get the quick energy lead right here. And they come in with the Jellicent, I believe, once again. So Shadow Sneak comes through, and they may be weak to Giratina here as a result. We'll have to see. Bubble Beam, I did not shield in case they did go for the Bubble Beam. That's basically one of our win cons here. So far, we're playing this battle very, very well. Do shield the Shadow Ball. They swap out into Nidoqueen. So although we're down a shield, there is a potential win con right here. So I'm going to swap out into the Escavalier. I want to get to the Drill Run and bait, but unfortunately do not. So this could be an Earth Power. We let it go through. We did reset the debuff at least, so Giratina comes back in here. And we're about to make another misplay right here in this battle. And can you guys guess what it's going to be? It's not against the Nidoqueen right here, but I am farming energy. They're going to look to swap out at some point. They're going to throw the Poison Fangs, of course, to lower our defense, make it a much better matchup for Jellicent. I'm looking to over farm here, of course, with the Giratina. Also calling the bait there on the Poison Fang. They swap out. Here's the mistake. They're going to shield 100% here. I should not be going for a Shadow Sneak at all in this position, because now I throw another Shadow Sneak here. I could have easily threw the Dragon Claw first, had more energy, probably avoided one Hex maybe, which could have potentially allowed us to either get to the Dragon Claw, maybe survive the Poison Fangs. Again, even if we do end up losing that matchup, you want to make sure you're making the correct play in those situations. And we made a lot of misplays instead. So another rough loss and another horrible lead right here for Escavalier. I was seeing a bunch of Talonflame leads, so at some point in this video you're going to see that we are going to actually switch the lead to Lapras, and then I think even to Giratina. So we're going to get a bunch of different battles here in this video. Now, I don't shield the Brave Bird because most of the time when they have Talonflame, they have a hard counter for Giratina in the back. The worst thing to do is to shield the Brave Bird there and then get met by a Scrafty here, which using that shield isn't going to make any difference for us. So I think we're actually in a really good spot here because the opponent wasted their energy on the Giratina to come in with a hard counter anyways. So things are looking very, very good for us right now. Or they're not looking very good because obviously we don't have alignment, so Talonflame on Escavalier is pretty awful, but we are going to be able to farm down here completely. I swap out to Lapras once again because I am going to swap out at some point. I'd rather get that energy lead here on the Lapras as a Trevenant in the back. So this is basically, it's not triple hard counter, but it's a pretty hard counter team right here. Lapras can actually beat Trevenant because these Shadow Ice Shards are doing a lot of damage. So we go for the Surf. Trevenant is going to throw another move here. Seed Bomb comes through. I'm going to build up to the 2 Surfs here. If they shield us, I should get to 1 more. And they decide to let that go through instead. So I'm going to look to throw the Surf. Now, the main issue right here is that basically I'm 2 Surfs away. They're 1 Incinerate. And 2 Surfs is 6 turns. Incinerate is 5. So there's no way I would win CMP right there. As a result, I should have swapped out into the Escavalier. I should have thrown 1 Ice Shard, paused, and then swapped out to catch on the Talon on the Escavalier. Thankfully, we did survive, so that's actually a win in that battle. But I included that win because I felt that although we did win and we came back from a very hard counter team, we still made a misplay in the end, which could have turned that into a loss. So that's why I included it there. We have a Escavalier into Walrein, the first positive lead of the battle. But they come in with Scrafty, so not optimal here because now we have to stay in with the Escavalier, of course. We do bait with the Acid Spray. I like Acid Spray a lot in the lead. And I actually have Drill Run Acid Spray here. I think we're running Acid Spray plus Mega Horn. At some point, I do switch Acid Spray for Drill Run and then to Mega Horn Drill Run. So the moveset actually is incorrect there on the screen, but that's okay. Going for the Acid Spray here, we are going to take out the Scrafty. Now, Lapras with Skull Bash can beat Walrein. So I'm not too worried about that. Having the alignment here is more important. All we have to do is make sure we shield up the first Earthquake. Go for the Skull Bash. It's not a guarantee they shield the Skull Bash either. So it's a pretty nice matchup for Lapras with shields. I'm going to go for the Skull Bash right here. And the opponent is going to shield that up. So I'm going to build up energy. I'm going to let this Earthquake go through here. It's not going to KO, of course. And it's doing less damage. The next one will probably be next one probably is going to KO, but we do get to the Skull Bash right here. Not sure this will actually KO a Shadow Walrein. They do survive. And my thinking here is that they showed already 2 hard counters for Giratina. Very unlikely to have a third. So I figured Giratina with a shield advantage is going to be very solid against whatever's in the back. It turns out that they have triple hard counter to Giratina. I don't want the smoke, so I just cut the video right there. Hop into the next one. But I think our logic in that battle was correct. Very unlikely to have 3 hard counters for Giratina. We just got unlucky there that they did. Another Talonflame lead right here. And usually I like to time this so that we could potentially get the Dragon Claw after they throw the Brave Bird, but my timing's a little bit off right here. Opponent is going to throw the Brave Bird as we've seen. That's usually what they do. But this time they swap out into Swampert. So this is actually a position where we could technically win switch advantage. So I'm going to build up to the Dragon Claws right here. And I'm going to look to shield up the first Earthquake. It makes sense to go for Earthquake because if they go for 2 Hydro Cannons, it's still not going to KO from this range. So I don't necessarily agree with this play because yes, you get off a second Hydro Cannon, but it's still not going to be enough to take out the Giratina. So I don't need to shield there. Going to throw the Dragon Claw. And they are going to shield up. Now, what you notice is that by going for the Hydro Cannons, they actually guarantee that by using 2 shields, they could maintain switch. So that did work out in their favor. And in hindsight, yes, alignment probably was more important here to keep that Talonflame away from Escavalier. But it's okay. We'll come in with the Lapras, see what they have in the back. Hydro Cannon comes through. They do have 0 shields. And they come in with Samurott. So I figured at this point there is a win con. But once again, you're going to notice we make a huge misplay to throw this game. I call the Mega Horn. Big shield right there. Going for the Skull Bash. And this is where the mistake is going to happen. I thought I could throw Surf before they get to a move. Huge mistake right here. Lose CMP. Mega Horn comes through. I didn't want to take that damage. But now we're guaranteed to not reach the Surf here on the Talonflame. Actually do, but they didn't throw. So maybe I could have got off the move there. I'm not able to get to the Acid Spray. They're going to build up to 2 Flame Charges. We actually lose CMP here. But notice, they don't even give me the option to throw Surf. We're going to lose CMP there anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. But it just shows you that the game is absolutely broken. Very unfortunate right there. Let's hop into the next battle. Got a Escavalier into Obstagoon right here. And the opponent's going to swap out into Mewtwo. Now I saw the Psychic type and I thought it could have potentially have been Cresselia. That's why I chose to wait a little bit before swapping out to Giratina. But again, we're going to make another misplay right here in this match. And you may be thinking, we're making a lot of misplays right here. It's a new league. First day, makes sense to be a little bit rusty. I'm letting in the moves. This is where the mistake happens. I should not be going for Dragon Claw right here because if they no shield, I'm actually screwed because I could survive Side Strike here. But now, because I didn't go for Shadow Stick, I can't farm down, so that forces me to burn the shield. And now we have to give up a shield advantage to maintain alignment right there, which is not optimal. So I'm going to go for the Dragon Claws here on the Obstagoon. They're going for a very aggressive farm down here. If they do go for the farm down, we're going to get off a lot of Dragon Claws, at least one more after this, I'd imagine. So they might be forced to throw a Night Slash at some point. They're going to go over 100 energy for sure. And they do decide to throw one of them right here. So they're going to be at about like 65 energy, I think, right here. We'll come in with the Escavalier. They swap out into Talonflame. And this is where not having that second shield is going to cost us the game. Going for Brave Bird here is totally fine. Doesn't really matter. Lowers the defense. Now these Ice Shards are chunking. I'm going to get to 2 Surfs, which is going to take out both shields. And the defense is lowered. So although we do have a Escavalier in the back, this is still winnable somehow. It just depends on us not making any more mistakes. And right here, I'm going to shield up this Flame Charge. And I should just be going for Acid Spray because the defense is already dropped. But I go for the Mega Horn instead. They make a great swap out into the Obstagoon. And because of that, we're not going to be able to build up to another move. They also reset the debuff on their defense drop for the Talonflame, which means, Acid Spray would KO, but we're not able to get to it. We lose this game right here. Another misplay. Shout out to the opponent though. They played it very well, making that catch there at the end, but definitely a misplay on our part. And another game blown by us. So it is what it is. Playing like James Harden on defense right here. Not doing anything right. Escavalier into Talonflame. Another horrible lead. So there's a lot of bad leads. And this is one of the worst hard counters to see for a Giratina safe switch. So I'm going to go for the Dragon Claws right here. Icicle Spear going to be dealing a lot of damage. Let's see how much it does. It's about like 40% it looks like. So going for the Dragon Claw right here. And the opponent is going to outpace to another Icicle Spear. I was hoping we could barely survive this, but it is actually going to take us out, which is unfortunate. Come back in with the Escavalier. Potential to be an Earthquake right here. I'm not going to shield it though because obviously there is a Talonflame. There's no point to save energy on the Lapras. They swap out to Cresselia, and this game is basically over. This is a triple hard counter line, so Grass Knot comes through. Gonna build up to the Skull Bash. And although this game looks like it's over, I actually believe we put ourselves in a miraculous situation to pull off the win here. So let's see what happens. I use both shields on the Cresselia here. And I'm going to throw the Surf. this is going to get the shield. Now I can't swap out into the Escavalier because I'm just going to allow the Talonflame to farm us down. So now these grass stats aren't doing much. They swap out to Walrein to catch. So they gave us a win con right here. We're at 2 Surfs. I believe we will outpace the Crystallites the next one. Let's see if they want to shield this up. They let the Cresselia go down. Talonflame comes back in. I'm going to throw the Surf here. I need to catch the Flame Charge onto the Escavalier, and look at that, we catch the move. But are we going to be able to KO with the Surf here? We are extremely low in health, going for the Surf. Need this to knock out the Talonflame, come back against the triple hard counter team, not able to do it. So that's a situation there where we did everything correct in that matchup. Like we did stuff that we shouldn't even have been doing. The opponent obviously gave us a win con with that swap into Walrein, and it still was not enough to come back. So we had the opponent give us a win con, we played it perfectly, and we still lose the game. It's gonna happen sometimes. Triple hard counter. I switch the lead now to Lapras, and of course we get met by a Shadow Machamp. So Escavalier isn't a much better lead, but with Acid Spray it's actually decent in the lead here. You can see as a closer I switch to Mega Horn plus Drill Run now, and the opponent brings in a Berserker into the Escavalier. So I decide to come with Lapras here, thinking it's probably going to be useless in this matchup, or in this game rather. Going for the Surf right here, and I tried to catch the close combat to Giratina. That would have been a huge win con. Unfortunately, I was not able to. I decided to shield here, which is a debatable play. Was thinking maybe this Surf would be useful, but as you can see, we didn't actually reach the Surf, so I'm forced to swap out here because we'll get countered down before reaching the move. Registeel in the back. Now I'm absolutely wishing I did not shield that Lapras, because with a shield advantage right here, we would be able to actually take this game. But the main drawback here for this is that we would have had a win con if we had that Surf ready to go, because it would allow me to at some point come in and snipe this Registeel when it's low enough with Surf, at which point Giratina would be able to finish off the Machamp. So I'm going to go for the Dragon Claw right here. Probably should have built up to the Shadow Sneak, but I was afraid they were at the move. Came in with Lapras trying to snipe, but as you can see, we're not at the Surf. So this is going to go onto the Machamp, and it doesn't take them out. So that's very unfortunate right here. If that took them out, we would have had another win con in this match. But as you could see, Cross Chop comes through. I am going to build up, but I'm not going to be able to reach the Shadow Sneak. We need to survive this. Not enough HP, so I could only go for the Dragon Claw. Is this going to be enough to take out Registeel from this range? Another very close matchup there, coming down to basically 1 HP against a hard counter lead. So, I mean, I think we're playing pretty well in some of these matchups, but there's just nothing we could do. Lapras and Galvantula, the Lapras lead experiment is not working. I was seeing so much Talonflame that I figured Lapras lead would make more sense, but all of the leads changed after that. So I come in with Escavalier right here. The opponent isn't swapping out, so went for the Drill Run. Now, I believe I did throw one Ice Shard by accident before swapping out into the Escavalier here, which is unfortunate. I'm not going to shield this up. I'm going to take the shield advantage and come in with the Giratina altered, waiting out the switch clock here because I don't want to be locked in. Walrein comes in, so I'm throwing this Dragon Claw to bring in my Lapras. And Shadow Lapras here. Well, okay, I thought I was in a good spot here, but look at my Lapras. I'm using the wrong one. No Skull Bash, so this is going to obviously impact the game right here. And they're not even, I think we built up to Skull Bash and they're still not shielding the first one, so we're just getting so unlucky in some of these battles. Obviously, this is my mistake because I came in with the wrong Lapras right here. You definitely want Skull Bash in this particular situation. But we do get to the Surf right here. Going to take out the Walrein. I swap out, and it's a Drapion in the back. So unfortunate. Double XL team once again. We have a shield advantage though, so there is some play here. I swapped out the Lapras, of course, because I want to reset the debuff once the Galvantula comes back in and throws a lunge at me. It's inevitable that's going to happen. Here it is. The Galvantula comes in. Lunge comes through. I'm trying to overfarm a lot here, but unfortunately Dragon Claw isn't going to KO. I need to catch this move onto the Lapras. Able to do it. We have a potential win con here, maybe. Can we win this game? Going for the Dragon Claw. We need to outpace to the moves, but the game clock is coming up at this point, so I throw the Dragon Claw. They're going to get to, they crunch. I beat them to the Dragon Claw right here, but is it going to be enough to win this game by HP? No, it is not. I think maybe, just maybe, if there was no game clock, we might have been able to win that game, but still a very hard counter game once again. I swapped to Giratina lead, and of course, we get met by Obstagoon now, so it would have still been horrible for Lapras. I want the Escavalier lead. Everything was going wrong on this day, and that's just going to happen sometimes. I'm forced to stay in here with the Giratina because obviously I can't bring in Lapras. My only counter is Escavalier, so I can't really bring that in either. Need to save it for later. Going for the Dragon Claws right here. And the Obstagoon is going to throw the Night Slash, which is going to take us out. They swap out to Swampert. I come in with the Lapras right here. So Lapras is a good matchup against Swampert. I am going to call the Earthquake here, which is a big call. And if I went for Skull Bash, probably would KO from this range, but they're almost always going to shield at least once, I figure. They actually don't, so they're going to shield the second one, which is fine. But it means we are going to take another move here from the Swampert, and that is an Earthquake. So going to be able to farm down? No, Hydro Cannon comes through. Don't believe this will KO, but they're going to swap out into Obstagoon and snipe us down before we get to that Surf. Very well played. They are switch locked now, so this game comes down to them being very weak to Escavalier in the back, which in my opinion is going to be very unlikely. Let's see what it is in the back. It's actually a Nidoqueen, so unfortunately for us, Drill Run isn't enough to one-shot a Nidoqueen here, and it's going to be very, very hard to farm down with counter. Drill Run plus Acid Spray would have been very useful here. Might have been the win con. I am going to call the Poison Fang bait here, but unfortunately for us, it's not going to make a difference because these poison jabs are doing more than the counters after the defense drop. Another Poison Fang. We get sniped by the Swampert. Another very difficult game that came down to the wire. So I think the main thing to take out of this video is, despite all of the difficult situations we found ourselves in, we still made these games very close. And if we could minimize some of the mistakes we were making, a couple of these losses could have turned into wins, which at the end of the day is going to be enough to change a negative set into a positive one. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today, a little bit different than the normal rundown. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.